Hey, welcome back to the Club Junkie podcast. Hopefully, you're having a great week. Hopefully, you had a great Memorial Day weekend, had a safe one, maybe played some golf, hung out with some family and friends, and just enjoyed it. So, I'm back. I actually played a bunch of golf. I played 2 rounds, which I haven't played 18 hole rounds of golf since February. But I'll tell you about those in just a minute. But it was fun. Got to go out and play, even though it was freezing. It was cold in the morning, but still got out and played a bit. So before we get into today's episode, just want to let you know this episode is brought to you by Titleist and the new Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls. We all aspire to outperform the player we were yesterday. This takes practice, commitment, and trusting your golf ball will perform the way you need it on every type of shot. The Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X offer advanced technology and performance that rewards your best swings and helps you shoot lower scores. Both models are exceptionally long, deliver consistent flight, and feature unrivaled control. Pro V1 is the best combination of distance, spin, and feel in the game and delivers a penetrating ball flight. Where Pro V1X, my ball, it flies higher and spins more in the short game while still giving you low spin on longer shots to maximize your distance. Find out more about Pro V1 and Pro V1X, including which is the best choice for you, at Titleist.com. So, yeah, I went out there, played some golf. I actually got to play a decent amount. Got to play 2 rounds. Played Friday and Saturday. Played Friday by myself, did a little filming, did some three-swing challenge stuff, and then on Saturday played with my brothers. My dad wimped out and did not want to play in the cold because it was definitely chilly. It was like in the 40s, mid 40s, and the first couple holes were pretty darn chilly. And by the end, it was warmed up. It wasn't too bad. But we get out there early because we get to play fast. There's nobody out there. We went and played my home course, Bella Vista in Coldwater, Michigan, and it's a blast. It's kind of a hidden gem. So if you want to stop by and play it one day, great. But don't frequent it too much. I'd like to keep the tee times down so I can go in and play whenever I need. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So went out there, played a bunch of stuff, brought a handful of drivers, different things, just kind of packed the bag full of stuff, different putters, all that, and got out there and played. So it was a good time. I'm starting to dial in the what's in the bag, the gamer bag. It's starting to come together. I'm miles away with some stuff. I'm getting really close with others, and yeah, it's getting there. So I do have to figure it out because I got invited to play in a member guest in in a few weeks. So in about 2 weeks actually. So I've got to figure out what I'm playing because I can't bring 16 clubs. I've got to only bring 14. So I've got to figure out what that's going to be. But I've definitely dialed in a few things and kind of have an idea of what's going in the bag at certain spots. So that's good. The downside is the one that I'm a mile away from is driver. Unfortunately, it seems like I just have not found a driver that I have fallen in love with yet. So working on that. That's the one that right now, I guess if you basically held a gun to my head and said, what are you going to play? I'd probably play the Elite Triple Diamond TD, the Tour Draw. That's the one I probably hit the best out of everything. But but there's a lot of things that are pretty close. So, and it's still a few things that I need to get on the course a little bit more to see what's going on. So, right now, that's the furthest one away. Three wood is kind of a battle between. I guess I'll go through what's in the bag, and we'll get into. I got to do have something to review as well. But we'll talk about what's in the bag, what's close, what's not. So driver's a mile away. Like I said, I think Triple Diamond Tour Draw is probably the best. After that, it's hard to say. The standard QI35 I've hit pretty well, but I've probably hit the LS a little bit better. So I would probably say LS is probably like next in line. I'm about to take the LS Cobra out there, which I got fit into at Cobra. We'll see how that goes out on the course. I'm going to take that out today in my league. I was actually really shocked. Hit the Srixon ZXi driver really well, better than I thought. So that one, I mean, it launches high, but the ball speed seems to be good. And it seems to go really straight. Seems to be pretty darn forgiving. The ones that I was kind of disappointed with is that I haven't hit the ping stuff very well. It's been kind of one of those things where every time I get them on the course, I think it's a swing weight thing. I gotta measure them out and see what those head weights are because I think it's a swing weight thing because they're a little bit heavier than the others and they do feel a little bit different in the swing even when I'm putting different shafts in them. I think I need to find something counterbalanced to put it in like the max head and see how that works. And then yeah, we'll see how the Cobra things do. And like I said, Taylor's pretty solid. I gotta get the GT2 back out, see how that goes. I know I played that a decent amount last year. So those are all in the running. But right now, if I had to rank them, I would say Triple Diamond, Elite Triple Diamond, Tour Draw, which is funny because I'm a guy who draws the ball a lot, and the Tour Draw just I seem to hit it well. It's these tight kind of little draws. They go a long way. When I miss it, I tend to miss on the heel a little bit, and that shot stays kind of straight, just a little bit of right to it. So it's been really solid. And then the same thing, the LS has been really good. Just a little bit straighter ball in terms of it doesn't curve as much. I think it's just that low spin of that head, but it goes pretty darn straight. I don't square it up quite as easily, and the shots that I miss, I tend to just leave it out to the right, which isn't necessarily horrible, but it definitely that's the miss with that one. And then when I get into the standard elite, it was funny. I took that out and played. It went in and out between the different drivers I was hitting, but the elite on there, I did not hit that thing well. I don't know what it is. Maybe I need to mess with some weights or whatever, but I've kind of hit a few different shafts. It just hasn't been my thing. Even though I feel like I could use the forgiveness, I should take the forgiveness. I'm not getting it. I'm just not hitting it as good as the triple diamond stuff. So the standard elite, the elite X though, I did hit well early in the year when I went down to Florida. I hit that driver really well. I need to try that one again and see if I still got the magic there with it. And then, Cobra. Like I said, I've got the LS and I've got an X head. So both of those we're gonna have to try and see where they're at. But yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, the ping stuff. I want to hit it well. I honestly, I'm hitting it like really low on the face for whatever reason. I don't know if that extra weight is causing me to like kind of early extend and kind of get up out of the shot early, but I'm hitting things like really low on the face. And like I said, like a few weeks ago in my league, I flat out topped a driver. It went like 120 yards and on a par five, and thankfully I just destroyed a 3-wood hitting it down there. Hit such a good 3-wood that it saved that hole for me. But driver wise, that has not been good for me yet. So yeah, I mean, I think like I said, TD would probably be the best. The other one that I've actually sneakily hit decent was the Wilson. The carbon was better than I thought. And that thing's pretty solid. It does look at just a touch shut, but I hit it pretty well. The downside is that they don't have all fit tips for that. So at least for the new one, I haven't seen them. I reached out to Allfit. They said they did have them, and then I went on their site. They didn't have them. Their site's kind of not around much anymore. I'm getting a little worried about that. But then like Billy Bob's Golf had them, and it listed Wilson, but I don't know if that's like the old Wilson one or the current one or what. I'm gonna have to order one and just see what happens, because if it's for the old adapters, then I'll be out of luck there. But that carbon, I did put a LA Golf DJ series in there and actually hit it pretty darn well. So that's pretty solid. But driver, yeah, I just need to find something I can hit in the center and just hit in the fairway a little bit more consistently. So we'll see. We're gonna take out the LS today. I'll get that X out there, and then, like I said, get the GT, and then what? If it all goes haywire, I'll throw the old TSR2 in, and we'll just go back to 2024, and that's what I'll play. We're at the beginning of 2024, end of 2023. I'll just go back to the TSR2, even though the head's scuffed up because I was in my backyard. I didn't realize the cable, the line that brings our internet and stuff into the house was like right above me. I took the club back and just not gashed it, but it just scuffed the top of the head up fairly decently. But that will be interesting. So we'll see there. We'll try to get that dialed in. And the same thing shaft wise. I don't know what's going in there. I've been hitting a lot of that UST Link M40X Red a lot. The TSPX version, that thing has been really solid. It just gets a ball up in the air, but it stays really tight, and everything consistency wise is really, really solid. Of course, the Graphite Design GC has been a good one as well. It's always been something that I've hit well ever since it came out. I've been messing with that Automax, shaft as well. Much more stable than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be kind of like an Autoflex, super flexible, all that, and it's not. Like, it's actually kind of stout and feels pretty good. I just got to get that thing into kind of a lower spinning head. I think I need to put it in like that Triple Diamond TD or the TaylorMade LS or a Tour head, LS, or a lower spin head to kind of see what it does, because that's the only thing. It's been a touch spinny for me, but we'll have to see. Like I said, if I can get it in a lower spin head, that could be a really good one, because it just kind of goes straight. It's really, really stable there. but yeah, hit shaft wise there, been hitting a few different ones, and again haven't come out like clear winner of anything yet. But driver's the most wide open of the categories for what's in the bag. It's just I don't know really what's going to be the end all be all in 2 weeks when I go play. But that is one that's kind of wide open. So I'm going to have to do some more hitting of some balls and kind of narrow it down. When we get into 3 wood, it's kind of become a 2 horse race. I thought there was going to be some other options kind of jumping in there. I was really hoping the Ping G440 LST would make a run at it. I think that thing's just a cool driver, or I mean, a cool 3 wood, but I just have not hit it well. I took it out again a couple weeks ago and just kind of drew everything, just hitting kind of big draws with it that weren't as controllable. So right now, it's kind of a 2 horse race between the Callaway Elite Titanium and the QI35 from TaylorMade, the standard QI35. I'm going to take the tour one out tonight or later today for my league, but the standard one I've hit really well. So it's got a Ventus red in it. It gets the ball up in the air pretty high. It seems to be actually really long. I didn't think it would be as long as it was, but it definitely got down there. When I've hit it off the tee. It just has worked out really well. And then the Elite Titanium, that thing just having that bigger head, that super fast face, it just does everything really well. I can still hit it off the deck, but those two are kind of and that one there has got a KBS PGI or PGW, the new PGW shaft. It's one of the prototype ones. It's white with the Golf WRX logo on it that we did for some member testing. But that one there, kind of again, higher launching shaft, a little bit of spin to it, which is good because that head's pretty low spin. But it's been a pretty good combo hitting that and the QI35. So those two are kind of running the race. They've kind of distanced themselves a little bit from my GT2, which the GT2 I was hitting really well, and then I took it out. I put the Graphic Design CQ back in it. That's the shaft that I got fit into it when I was out at TPI when those came out. And I took it out, and I was really good. And when I played my guys trip, we went on my guys trip, I hit the thing awesome. Just really hit it great off the deck. I was going a mile, all this stuff. And then I took it out earlier in the year. I brought it down to Florida for a round with some folks from MaxFly when we went down there for that. And it was it was a windy day, and that thing was just getting up in the air. It was spinning a ton. It just wasn't going anywhere. So I was going to put a different shaft in it, but I was like, you know what? Let's take it out one more time. Took it out in my league a couple weeks ago. And again, like on the 9th hole, hit 3 wood, and it was like kind of where my 7 wood would go. So I don't know if that's going to be the combo. I've got a Fujikura Ventus TR Red that I might try putting in there and see if that maybe solves it, maybe spins a little bit less while still getting the ball in the air. But that one will be my next kind of option. But other than that, everything else has kind of fallen a little distant back to it. The other one that I've got to reshaft because I put a shaft in there. It's got a rattle. I got to pull it out. But I'm gonna put the sneaky one that I said last year was kind of the most underrated, that Tour Edge C725. So I'm gonna try that one again. I just got to put a new shaft in it, or at least fix the rattle that's in the shaft there. I have a Ventus TR Blue in it at the moment, and I think I just need to go. I want to go maybe like a ½ inch short on it, maybe make it like 42 and like 3/4, and then get that rattle out of there, and that thing should be really, really good. So pull the grip, shorten it up a touch. I think that thing could be awesome. But I got to try that thing again and see if I can get that one dialed in. But again, I think it's kind of between the Callaway Elite Tie, the QI35 from TaylorMade, and then the GT2 is kind of falling back a little bit. But we'll see what reshafting it'll do. But those two are there, and like I said, the Pings, I just hitting them kind of left. I'm just not hitting them well, and I would love for the LST, I mean, really, or the Max to go in there, but neither one of them has come close in terms of just consistency. And part of that then becomes confidence on the course. And do you have confidence to hit that club out there when you need it? And right now, I don't. So 3 wood will be one of those two, probably. And then we move to 7 wood. And 7 wood is kind of, I wouldn't say wide open, but I will say that the TaylorMade QI35 Tour, the adjustable, the titanium one, has definitely stepped up. I brought that down to Bella Vista, and I'll tell you what, on the 10th hole, which is probably one of the hardest holes on the course, hit a terrible hybrid off the tee, because on that hole you really just want to hit it a little over 200. It lays up to like probably like 150, 160, depending on wind, all that. And then, you have like an 8 iron, 7 iron, whatever into the green. Um, so I hit a hybrid. It was terrible. Hit a tree, knocked it down. And I had geez, what was it? Like, I think I had 220 to the green or something like that, or a little bit more. I had a lot. And I was just like, you know what, heck with it. Like, this is a tight shot, but we're just hit 7 wood off the deck here and see what happens. And I hit a great 7 wood to like just to the left front of the green. It was just in the rough. I mean, just missed. I feel like if it would have got like a little bit of a hop, I would have been putting, but it was right there, and hit just a phenomenal shot there. And then um, I dropped a ball on the par 5 15th just to hit it because I hit a drive. I hit 3 wood down there, and then I was like, well, I want to hit this 7 wood. So I dropped a 7 wood at like 215, and same thing, hit just a great shot. Ended up just left side, not quite pin high, but just left side, and it was pretty solid. So got up in the air, not quite as high as the ping, but it was really much easier to hit than I thought. So that one has surprised me. I hit the Elite Triple Diamond 7 wood really well when I went down to Florida again. When I was with everybody from that kind of Maxwell event, I had the 7 wood in the bag, and I hit it really well, especially off the tee. I was kind of surprised at how well I hit it off the tee. So I'm taking that one out to the league tonight. We're going to see how that goes. And then that one has a shot too. I think that one's really good. The G440 has been pretty good too. So that one's kind of a 3 horse race. I would kind of say the Pink's probably in the lead just because it's most comfortable. I've got that TR Blue 8 stiff in it, and that's what I had in the G4 430. There's not a huge change there, not a ton of difference. So that one's been pretty solid. So I mean, I think those three. But that 7 wood from TaylorMade has really stepped up. It's got a little bit more ball speed. It doesn't quite fly as high. I could move the weight back just a little bit. I've got it kind of set up mid, so I could slide it back just a touch more and add a little launch to it, and I might. But right now it comes off and it goes really, really well. So that's actually got a TR Blue 8 stiff in it as well. But we're going to see how this Triple Diamond goes. We're going to see, because I was pretty happy with it down there in Florida, and it was kind of flying basically as high as the G440 too. So we'll see how that goes. But that one there, if I had to go, that's not a hard one. Like, I would probably just take the ping and just make it easy. It's a simple one there. Um, Now the course we're playing is definitely it's short but tight. And I guess the rough will probably be a little bit longer. So I don't know. Maybe the TaylorMade goes, but I think the ping goes just out of comfort, because that's the the one. Like I said, I didn't change much. I just swapped the shaft on the head and went with it. So driver, no clue. 3 wood, we're down to 2. 7 wood, I'm saying right now 2, but it could be 3, depending on how things go. But again, that one's an easy one. Just make a switch, and I'm pretty comfortable with what's there. So just seeing if something is massively or noticeably better. For hybrid, I took out the Elite hybrid, the Callaway Elite. Love the look of it. I think the shape of it's awesome. Um, and then also the TaylorMade QI35 Rescue. I like the shape of that too. Neither one so far have I hit as well as my PXG from last year. So I've got a Black Ops with a Graphite Design Tour AD VF and an 85 stiff, and that VF in that head, I think last year was kind of like my crutch. I'd like when I was hitting it bad or needed to hit fairway, I did that, and it just worked out. That thing was was really kind of a savior on some holes. I'm gonna take that out tonight. See if the magic's still there with it. If it is, great. I'm hoping it is, because right now I don't have another fairway that I've hit, or another hybrid I've hit as well. Um, yeah, I'm kind of SOL now. And that one, hopefully, we're just keeping what we have, and we'll go with it. At worst, if that doesn't work out, then that 4 hybrid, then I'll probably go the Mizuno Fly High 4 iron, the utility iron, because that one I can hit off the deck, I can hit off the tee. It feels good. It looks better. It's a little more compact than the previous version, but the current one is really good. So that could go in the bag if the hybrid isn't working out any longer. So we'll find that one out tonight, and then that will either push one of those two things into the bag. I hope the hybrid still got it, because I like that thing a lot. I think it fit the gap just a little bit better. The Mizuno is really good. It's just not quite as hot as the PXG hybrid. So we'll see how that goes. But that one there is kind of its own thing at the moment, because nothing else has kind of beat it out. So so 4 iron will either be PXG Black Ops hybrid or the Mizuno Fly High utility iron. It'll be one of those two. Irons is the one thing that I think is set. I think 3DP Tour from Cobra. I think I like them better than the P770s. Had them out all weekend. Hit them there. Did a little three swing challenge with them as well as just playing them. And I'll tell you what, the interesting thing was like hitting some shots into greens that had wind. That I was playing the wind, playing some extra club or whatever, and the ball just kind of like sailed through it. And there were some shots that I just, I couldn't believe that I either got it on the green, got it pin high, or hit it kind of over the green or long that I just didn't expect. And those irons continue to kind of just impress me with putting bad swings on them. They produce really good shots. They feel and sound really well. When you hit them solid, they're kind of like a forged iron. And when you miss them, they've got a little more sound, but they carry just really well, and all that tungsten inside them just keeps them super, super stable. So that part there has worked out really well. And iron wise, 5 through pitch, those will be it. They're just too easy. They're too good to hit there. So those will be in the bag, I think, right now for sure. And then wedges, I think I might. I'm thinking I'm going back to the gamer wedges. I think um, I went out and hit those this weekend for the first time. Now I'll say gamer wedges for the 50-56. So those are PXG Sugar Daddy 3s. I've got a set of SM10s, of course, that I really like as well. The 50 degrees I could probably interchange between the two. The only thing with the Sugar Daddy is that I think they spin a little bit more out of the rough. So if you got like a kind of a gnarly rough lie, I think that PXG Sugar Daddy 3 checks up just a little bit better than the SM10 for me. So I think, I mean, that's part of why I have the groove. I also think it feels a little bit softer. That those Sugar Daddy 3s feel really, really soft. So that will probably stay in. And the 56, same thing. Like I love my SM10. I've got a 5614F, and hitting that the other day, just such an easy thing to kind of hit pitch shots, chip shots, whatever around the green. Um, but also hit kind of fuller shots when you need to. But also, the Sugar Daddy 3 does the same things. It feels a little bit better, and personally, I think it checks up just a little bit harder again out of the rough. So around here in Michigan, we don't have like tight cut, fairway type lies around the greens. Everything's like deep, lush, kind of rough, and even out in the fairway and things like that, you go into a deeper, lusher rough. And when you hit wedges, they release out of there. There's just not a lot of way to get the ball on the face. There's a lot of grass there, so those spin just a little bit harder. I think I'm going to still stick with those. Both of those playing Project X wedge shafts, just 6.0 wedge shafts, and they perform really well. And especially around this weekend playing with them and hitting those little chip shots and like that, I didn't feel like I was that far off. Like I didn't feel like, oh man, what am I doing? I don't really feel like I was able to kind of get back into the groove, and I didn't score well down there, but I definitely hit some good chip and pitch shots that would save holes and give me a bogey instead of worse or something like that. So I think those two are going to stay. Now the lob wedge is the interesting one because I've been a V grind guy for a long time. Love the Vokey Wedgeworks V grind. Um, but honestly, I took the A+ grind out, which was my gamer before. I took it out last week in my league, and man, that thing's just good. I forgot how much I liked that thing. Hit it really well. Um, and it's just easy. That slightly wider sole, it just glides across the turf really well, and easy to hit higher lofted shots, or even flight it down a little. I don't know, that grind works really well. So that one was kind of like an old friend that I realized I liked. And then the other one is the new Cobra King 60 degree, that T grind. It's only 7 degrees of bounce on it, but the way they bevel that sole, it's got a bunch of bevels on it. It really gets out there and plays well. So we're actually going to talk about that in a minute. But those two, they're the only thing with the Cobra that I don't truly love. The leading edge is kind of rounded, and I don't love the look of the dress as much as I like that V grind or that A+ grind. So from a visual standpoint, I don't know if the Cobra will make it, but the Cobra is pretty darn good. It plays really well. So it's probably a race there. I'll probably look at conditions. Like if it's really soft, I'll go V grind. If it's a little firmer and drier, I'll probably go A+ grind. So either one of those work well out of the bunker and all that. So those are the 60s, that one of those two. But the 50-56 will stay PXG Sugar Daddy 3, and then it's just debate on the lob wedge. And then for putter, I think right now is going to be the Bettinardi Queen Bee 16. I putted really well with the Kevin Burns 9306 2.0. I putted really well with that just a couple weeks ago, and or not even a couple weeks ago. I'm sorry, this weekend. But I putted with the Bettinardi a couple weeks ago, and they both are really good. I mean, they're both blades, just slightly different faces. The Bettinardi's a little firmer, the Kevin Burton's a little bit softer. Both of them really solid, and honestly, I was putting well with both. So that one may be one of those ones where I'm just gonna have to go to the practice green and just battle it out between those two. I would probably Bettinardi right now over it, over the Kevin Burns at the moment, but just slightly. So we'll see if that continues. But both those putters have been really good. The distance control on both is phenomenal. Like I said, Kevin Burns just does feel a little softer, so it is kind of nice to get that soft feel off the face, especially when you're playing a Pro V1X. But that one is solid. So I think I'd go there with that one of those two. But I think the first place is the Bettinardi Queen Bee. So that's kind of where I'm at with what's in the bag right now. I know I just kind of ramble, but that's just what I do when I've been tinkering and messing around and trying different stuff. So those are probably what's close. We'll get it narrowed down in a couple weeks, and I'll let you know what kind of goes in the bag for sure. So that's what's in the bag stuff. And now we'll get to talking about some clubs. And it's funny, I've kind of hinted to what it is, but I will say that I've been hitting a decent amount of the new Cobra King wedges. So this is a new Cobra King wedges that came out this year. It's kind of cool. They came out with a few, handful of new grinds, more lofts, all that. There's just more to them, and they've got a bunch of tech packed into them. These are metal injection molded from metal injection molded steel, so they can be basically more precise than the robot polished. So super precise in terms of bounce angles from wedge to wedge. They get flatter faces, all that stuff. They can just be more precise with it. But this is kind of their traditional wedge here, and I think they did a really nice job. There's a big step up. Big notice too is you can tell the old what do they call it? It's the speed notch on the back has been redone. It's been basically redone for each grind and each wedge to kind of be able to play a little bit different, but it helps get through the turf a little bit faster. And it's a little bit bigger here. So this is the 56. You can see it's definitely larger. This is the 56V grind. And then if you look at the 60T grind, it's kind of a little bit smaller and shallower. So different ones there. But overall, I think these things look really good. I love kind of the hammered, little kind of hammered texture in the back. It looks really nice. Other than that, it's really kind of simple, clean. I think Cobra did a nice job by not doing too much with it, not adding crazy stuff like snake bites and all sorts of stuff. It's just clean king wedge. I like it. So this is the kind of more chrome finish, and it's definitely a heavy satin chrome. And then there's also a black finish as well. But this one here is plated. It looks good. There's really no glare to it. Now the shaping on it, it does look a little bit bigger than some other wedges. Doesn't look quite as compact as some other wedges out there. And as I hinted to, like on the 60 degree and the 56, the leading edges are a little rounded. When you look at the leading edge and you set it down, the leading edge comes out and is a little bit rounded. And it kind of, to me, kind of flares up towards the toe a little bit when it gets rounded. I don't personally love that look. I love a straighter leading edge. But I totally get it. There's usually performance benefits, like getting through the rough and hitting more open face shots that curved face helps with. So I won't knock it because there's a performance there. But yeah, it's not my favorite thing. So took these out, played now like three rounds of them. And I tell you what, these things are probably the best Cobra wedges they've ever made. I think they're phenomenal. They feel really good. They're definitely soft. But I love the fact that these soles play really well. So this is the 56V grind. And the V grind has trailing edge relief. It's got a little bit of relief in the toe and the heel, so you can kind of open this face up. The leading edge doesn't come off the ground too high, but still is great for kind of medium to firm conditions and a little bit more of a average to shallower swing. But honestly, I'm a little steeper guy playing kind of softer conditions, and I had no problem playing this thing around there. Played it out of the trap, everything. It worked really well. I think it is a very versatile grind. I did kind of play, I don't play a 56 wide open, but playing the 56 just a touch open to hit some maybe higher spin, pitch shots worked really well. I never had a problem. I felt getting that leading edge under the ball and making contact decently close to the center of the face. Out of the trap, I thought the V-sole worked really well. The bunkers are firm because it's still kind of early here. It's still kind of still kind of damp and a lot of moisture in the ground. So the bunkers are still firm. But this thing here was really easy. Hit a handful of bunker shots over the weekends. No problem getting through. Having decent float. got the ball out, but you didn't have so much where you were worried about bouncing the club into the ball or anything like that. Definitely an easy wedge to hit. Like I said, didn't play anything wide open, but playing stuff square, you get to kind of use the bounce of the sole, and especially kind of over the toe and the heel alongside of that speed notch. And the club just did it. It just kind of glided into the ground and the turf and glided out. The leading edge is a little bit killed or a little bit rounded off. So that kind of helps too, as it kind of the club gets into the ground. It doesn't want to dig. It's not too sharp, and you're able to kind of get through there fairly quickly, and would reduced and not reducing too much speed. But the playability is really good. The spin on them is pretty darn solid. Do I think they spin as much as say my PXG Sugar Daddies? No, I don't think they spin that quite that hard out of the rough off a tight lie, like off the fairway lie. They spin really, really well, and you definitely have to get the ball to the hole because it's going to check up hard. But out of the rough, there is a little bit more release there, even on fuller shots compared to say those Sugar Daddies. So I'd say these were on par, in terms of spin with other wedges out there. Whether it's a Vokey or TaylorMade or Callaway or something like that. They definitely spin out of the rough fairly similar. And the same thing on those tight lies. They spin really well. But the control in these things is really good. They're consistent. And when you hit shots that were just off the green and little chip shots to get the ball up and rolling, it was pretty predictable on how that ball was going to release and go out. And you never really were fooled by it. It never grabbed too much and stopped immediately. And you never had one just, at least for me, run away going like, what happened there? Like that ball should have, checked up at least a little bit. So the 56V grind I really like. I think it's a super versatile grind. I think this one here would kind of work for everything. I think this is just kind of that one that if you don't kind of know what you need and you just need something, like I think the V grind could work out for a lot of players, especially in the 56 where you can hit fuller shots with it. You can hit little touch shots around the green. It's just going to offer you that versatility to kind of take it in high, bring it in low, full shot, a little bit open, whatever. And the sole isn't crazy wide. It's fairly narrow on there, so it makes it easy to get through the turf and have that face either open or a little bit shut, or you can kind of press it forward. You don't have to worry about that thing digging or bouncing off the sole at the wrong spot. So this one here I really liked. I hit it really well. I like the 56 a lot. I think it plays really well. Just had a dynamic gold spinner in it. It's a stock shaft. But the feel on it again, really soft. Softer than I expected for being, the metal injecting molded design. Definitely created a soft wedge. But the one I like the best, let's be honest, it's the 60T grind. And yes, the T grind only has 7 degrees of bounce, which for me is typically not enough. But I feel like it plays a little bit like the T from Vokey, where when you play it square, there's a little bit more bounce there than you would think for a 7 degree. And when you play it open, there's so much relief on the back that you can kind of play this thing open, and the leading edge does not come off the ground too high. But then also when you look at the front has a nice kind of bevel to it. So when this thing does get into the turf, it does want to dig deeper. It wants to kind of hit level off and get out of the turf, which is really nice. This one I played a little bit more open in terms of some shots, and super easy to go through, hit it, hit those shots a little higher lofted or a little bit more spin, whether it was, on a tight lie, out of the fairway, or even out of the rough. Out of the rough, the nice thing too is some of these wedges, I feel like you get too low a bounce and then you just slide under. There's nothing there. This still, you're able to get enough ball, get it up, get it out, and hit a pretty solid shot. But around the green on the tighter lies, I think this played so well. I could go, just kind of slide it across the turf, catch the ball there, get it up onto the green. It would check up really fast. Played it out of the bunker a little bit as well. Kind of got short-sided there. You can see there's a nice nick in the bottom from a nice rock that was underneath there. But played out of the trap, even that firm sand played out of there really well. Again, a decent float, not as much as that V grind, but it floated pretty well. You didn't have to worry about kind of getting too close to the ball and taking less sand or anything like that. You can still splash it out with no problem. But this grind here, I felt like, played really well in the Midwest conditions, whether it was, a fairway cut or a rough cut, you were able to hit really consistent shots with it. Now, it didn't fly super high. The 56 was pretty high. When you hit it, I felt like full shots with it. It kind of got up in the air, and it had a little higher flight than, say, an SM10 or something like that. The 60 degree, I don't really hit full shots. Everything's around the green with this thing, and unfortunately, I used it more than I cared to. But there was even some shots like on 18 Kind of hit my driver over to the left, had to kind of run it up through under a tree, and I actually hit a perfect shot, ran it up right in front of the green, and I think I had like a 15-yard shot, but the green is kind of it's small in the front, it kind of wedges out as you go back, and they had the pin right up front, so you kind of had this up and then this little shelf to kind of like get the ball onto, and played a slightly open face, hit a good shot there, and it just rolled by the hole, which was really nice. But the confidence to have a wedge that you've really never played before and be able to hit that shot, which is really delicate, I think was kind of an ode to how this plays. It just is really easy to get under the ball, to hit those slightly higher lofted shots or even penetrating shots. But it was easy to hit those shots without worrying about what the sole was going to do or if it was going to react funny or anything like that. But yeah, like I said, played it straight, plays with more bounce at 7 degrees when you open it. It definitely can play off these tight lies with no problem. So I think it's a really versatile grind. I think it's one that, of course it says for shallower swings or medium or firm conditions. We're closer to the medium side right now. And with my 60, I am a little bit more shallow than I am with my 56. So, yeah, this thing is really solid. But like I said, this thing here, I think it would be instant gamer if it had a straighter leading edge. That's the only thing. When I looked down on it, I didn't love that rounded kind of leading edge, especially out near the toe. I'm getting more used to it as I use it. But that would basically say like kind of gamer for me right there. So I thought about taking, the grinding wheel to it. Do I try to grind it down, make it straight, and see how it looks? But I don't know if I'm willing to go there yet. But this one here is the T grind. I think is just an awesome addition to the Cobra Wedge line. So I have a W grind in the 60 as well, which is kind of low bounce. It's like a low bounce W. I think it's a W04, which I need to go hit as well. I just got these two out with a decent amount of time on them. I need to hit that one as well. But I think Cobra did a great job. I think there's are really, really solid wedges. If you like something that's got a little bit more of a rounded leading edge, and you like something that maybe just isn't quite tiny, it's a slight bit bigger than a tiny compact wedge. These things perform awesome. I think Cobra did a great job. The grooves, provide a ton of spin. These added new sole grinds definitely help with hitting different shots, and they've overall really made a nice wedge. So I'm a big fan of the King Wedge. They did a great job with these. So if you go to cobragolf.com, you can jump on there, see all the different ones. You can kind of go through and build your own as well. Like I said, that T grind, which I love, is to be able to 58 and 60. But they've got a bunch of different wedges there that you can kind of check out, all the specs and all that. So glad to see them upping their wedge game. I think I'd want a 60 T in black with that leading edge ground down. That's what I think I want. So anyway, that is the Cobra King wedges. So big fan of them. So anyway, that's what I've got for today's episode. I know I went much longer than probably people wanted, but hopefully you guys get out there and play some golf. We'll do it again next week. If you want to follow me on Instagram at Club Junkie Pod, and all other social medias, just look for Club Junkie Pod. And then, if you're listening here, please, if you could like, subscribe, any of that, that would be awesome. So hopefully you guys have a great week. Have a good weekend, and we'll chat next week.